Okay, a bit late, but we're off. Hi, guys. That's about right. Come on, tablet.
Well, hello everybody. How's everybody doing? Thanks for joining us on this very special hour with John Whitberg. We have a very amazing show here today, and thank you all for joining us. So, hopefully, I'm rendering a video right now for Mrs. Danny Henderson. So, hopefully, there's not going to be any noise in the background, but uh, yeah, I can't help that, guys. But anyway, let's continue on with our featured guest of honor, John, who was part of the Montauk program
Hi,
of the
Diane. Good to see ya.
Project Looking Glass, and we're going to
I
go
just
into
got back
all these
about 10
different
minutes
facets
ago.
of his experiences. And by the way, visit my website at supersoldiertalk.com. There is a great interview that Daniel Sala put together with John. I don't know if I'll be able to top that interview, but I will do my best. So, yeah, okay. So John served in the secret space program under different alter names. John's alter was sent to Vega Prime, and then later in Solar Warden. His other alter, Heinrich, is a German diplomatic officer who was loaned out to the Deep Space Fleet Space Navy, which is another name for the JDFC, the Joint Defense Force Command. During this time, he was tasked with setting up new trade agreements, settling disputes, and setting up colonies within the breakaway. Heinrich was stationed on the USS Pokler, which is 6 miles long. His second alter, Jared, is a archaeologist in the ICC, and John believes he is still alive. Another alter is Adam, served in Solar Warden, which later split into Radiant Guardian. Adam also served on the Europa. Oh, served on planet Europa. Sorry, planet Europa. The moon. Sorry, New Nuremberg on the moon Titan, Victoria Colony on Mars, and also on the moon of Ganymede. Adam served as the integration officer for our solar system. Today, John will be talking more about this and his Alex alter, who was stationed at Montauk in the 1960s and then transferred to Project Looking Glass in the mid 70s. So, yeah, maybe I got a little tidbit on here about Planet Centurion, where you met Paul Serene, so who was the head of Monarch. Um, John.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Wow, this is quite a list of on your bio. How many years do you think you actually served out there?
I did the math once. It's somewhere roughly like close to 300 years.
Wow. So I guess well, I mean, we can joke about it. So I'm assuming your pension fund must have millions of dollars in it, but the reality of the situation is you were pretty much utilized as a slave, I guess.
Very, very much so. Yes.
Yeah, in their opinion, they considered it a privilege to work for them for 300 years. So that's why they think they don't need to pay you or pay us for others.
I guess so.
Okay. All right. Well, would you like to add anything else to that bio that I might have missed?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, let's go back to your early Montauk experiences. So, how does this? How would you actually start this story here that you went through?
Well, that is a difficult question to answer because from that very early phase, a lot of the memories are very fragmented, but one of the possible narratives I've put together, and the one that makes the most sense to me, is that I'm actually someone named
Wow, that's
Alexander
heavy, guy.
Bromsley, who was born in the 1950s, and that I'm currently displaced in time, and that he was one of the first kids taken to Montauk in the early 60s. And so
Well, how did you get? Hold on. How did you get from the modern era, the current present, back to the 1960s, or is this another? Your soul has been fragmented in another life stream. How does this work?
from what I can tell, I was, like I said, I was born in the 50s, so I was a kid in the 60s, and I was taken there, from what I can recall, I was taken there in a black van from,
Bless you.
sorry, from, I believe I was literally snatched from outside my home, and that, my
Wow.
family, who is also not my
Well, that's a big
biological
one on
family,
Tonga, Di.
that I was with at the time. That's a whole
Tonga's
other
near
story, but,
Australia.
the family I was with at the time had their minds wiped, and it was as if I had never existed. And so then I have a pretty distinctive memory of arriving at Camp Hero, being led. Well, first there was the processing, as they called it, in the radio tower, where we had our names taken. We were stripped down, hosed off, and shaved.
How old were you, John, at this particular point?
I was 7.
Okay. And what was the state of your mind? Were you like asking for your parents? Do you remember, or?
I was, and the funny thing is, I still can't even remember their names, but I was asking for them, and I was terrified. Like, I had no idea what was happening to me. Given the era, I probably kind of thought I'd been kidnapped by the Soviets or something. But, and
Oh, man.
John, why do you think they chose you at this point?
I believe because I believe I was always destined to be taken for this, that I am actually a hybrid that was created in a lab. And
Is there a connection with your blood type, maybe, or?
yes, there is. I'm AB negative blood type, which is the rarest blood type, by the way. There's only a couple million of us on the entire planet. And from what I've been told is that through secret CIA research,
Hey,
they
Twiggy, good to
discovered
see you,
that
mate.
AB negative people have the highest amount of Anunnaki DNA of all humans. So we have what Max Spears referred to as blood group B, what James Casbolt referred to as blood prime, what Penny Bradley refers to as the metagene, and so on.
And there's also a connection with you actually getting your memories back because of your blood type. Because I've been trying to figure out the pattern. Why is it Tony has full recall, Sean Charles Moyen, even Alana Denon, and then we got so many others. So why is it that you think that you're having your recalls and some of the other people are struggling? What do you think it is?
I believe that's also blood type related, that we're This technology for mind wiping was made for normal humans, not for AB negatives. So it just doesn't work as well.
I understand. Okay. All right. So continue on. You're being debriefed, I guess, or at Montauk. What's the next step?
We weren't debriefed for a while. We were hosed off, shaved down, and put into white pajamas, and then led into the infamous cage room. And I almost never have the audio portion of my memories, but for this particular one I do. There was this kid, couldn't have been older than 14 or 15, who let us in there, and he said, "Welcome to Camp Hero. I hope you like it here, because the only way out is through the chimney."
What?
What? That's
Means like
crazy.
being,
Wow.
that means like being cremated, basically.
Yeah.
That means you're not getting out.
Wow.
So
Wow. And so so you're in a cage. Were there other kids there? In
oh
cages?
yeah, oh tons of them. Yeah, it averaged at about 3 kids per cage.
And do you remember? I guess I get too many good details. Did they give you clothing? Did they take
Yeah.
that away?
Yes, we had white pajamas.
And what kind of? What was the food like at the mess hall?
Wasn't much. It was like powdered eggs and like instant oatmeal and things like that.
Okay. All right. So can you explain what it is they told you they wanted you to do for them?
Well, very little, honestly. You kind of just learned what you were supposed to do because you got beaten if you weren't doing it right.
Wow.
The first stage was putting us through the chair, which most of us died. I died, but I didn't die as quickly as some of the other kids, so they figured I did have some worth, so they kept me around.
John, can you please explain to people what is this chair and why did they die in it?
Of course, sorry. The chair was what people often refer to as a trip seat. We were told that they had found it in ruins in Egypt. I've heard other people say that it actually came from the Roswell crash. I don't know. I wasn't there when they got it. But it's essentially an interdimensional and interstellar and intertime navigation chair.
Which means what?
Most humans are incapable of using it. It overwhelms your psyche because you do inevitably connect to it on a psychic level, but for most people it literally fries you from the inside out because the energy of it is so intense. And there were a few people but there were some humans they found who could operate it, and we actually called them the few, because for obvious reasons.
Wow.
All right. And can you describe a little bit what this chair actually looks like and how is it actually used?
Looks more or less like a dentist's chair. It doesn't lean back quite that far. But it also has wires coming off the back from it that connect to the portal, which is pretty much just a big metal arch. And the way it works is somehow or other the person operating it will be given coordinates for where they want the portal to open, and then they do it. I don't know the intricacies of how the technology works. I was never an operator, so it's not my area.
Was there any mirrors in front of?
He knows little terms like I wasn't an operator. So he's saying little details. Yeah, very interesting.
The chair?
Yes, there were.
Okay.
You were supposed to visualize also the location, and like it would be projected onto the mirror, and then the portal would open.
Wow.
Again, I don't know how all this works, and I don't know how they figured all this out, but
Well, John, can you explain why some of the children died in the chair, and what when you went in the chair? How come you? I guess I say how come you didn't die, but well, like, can you please explain what happened when you? How did the chair treat you differently?
I opened the portal a crack, but then I did die. But even being able to open it a crack is pretty exceptional, so they did keep me around, and it was what I remember it feeling like was my entire body vibrating, like having an extreme seizure, and it was very painful, and I visualized the location and the portal for a few seconds, and then I guess that's when I died, and I woke up in the regeneration tank.
Wow.
Wow. So this was back in the 1960s. They had regen technology.
Yeah. That was one of the first technologies that was gotten as part of the not the Greada Treaty, the one with the treaty with the Mantids. There is a name for it that I can never remember, but
Oh, understood. All right. Well, let's discuss. Maybe could you tell us how many children do you think went through Montauk, and where did they actually find most of these participants? I don't know. I use that word lightly, like subjects.
in total, the number of kids who went through has around 2 million and counting, because it's an ongoing project.
2 million and counting. And like 800,000 kids go missing in the USA every year. So we know where a lot of them are ending up. Wow.
Where they got them, well, they started getting them from bloodline families, Illuminati bloodline families, and from government hybrids such as myself. And then when they kind of started running thin on those, they started literally just randomly abducting kids off the street in places for a while.
John, was it you that were talking about the motorcycle gangs they hired to kidnap kids?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't personally remember that.
Okay. All right. And what percentage of the kids do you think either died or went missing of those 2 million?
All of them.
I would be shocked if it's anything less than 40%.
And as far as when we describe when kids go missing through the Montauk Project, could you describe what does that actually entail? Where are these kids actually going?
Well, they would be tested after they died in the chair. They would be tested further to see if they could do anything else, and if they couldn't, then they would be. A lot of them were incinerated, and a lot of them were fed to this group of Draco that lived on the base in what was called the feeding room.
Wow. Wow. I actually put on my website the remote viewing the Montauk facility where we talk about one of these feeding rooms where the Draco were being kept. And what's actually kind of curious is that some of these Draco were human Draco hybrids that were genetically modified after they were born and converted into Draco somehow. But wow. And so can you explain? So we know the Draco and Bob, the Mantis have a connection, or at least helped participate by providing resources. And we also have different groups, such as the Tall Whites that you've talked about, that were allegedly even in charge of this whole project. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
I don't know that they were in charge of Montauk. They were in charge of Project Looking Glass, completely and totally. But there were Tall Whites on staff at Camp Hero. There were a couple of different kinds of grays. There were Betelgeisian grays, and there was at least one Zeta there.
One beta.
And we had a lot of Zeta hybrids, but I only remember one pure Zeta. Trying to think what other species. There was another reptilian species there that I still don't know the identity of. I don't know what they call themselves, but they're around 7 feet tall. They're black, scales, iridescent. They're actually really pretty up close. And they have a tail with spikes on it, like a stegosaurus.
Wow, tricky. I never knew that.
Screen. We'll just look at this picture real quick. Hopefully, yeah. Okay. Let me zoom in. Reichian device used for application of energy fields during the process, which keeps the abductee in a pre-orgasmic state, allowing mind control and programming. Also used for ovum sperm extraction, used for conditioning, and something about programming for humans, including memory washing. Does any of that look familiar to you, John?
Yeah.
And did you see one of those things at Montauk, or is this something else?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and did you see these little beams here from
Yes.
Sirius?
Oh, is that where they're from? Yeah, I saw them there.
Okay, here's another one of the mind machine used by the Syrians to create artificial realities in the mind of the human abductee. Okay, the secondary process to make the abductee think they are dreaming, so they will relax and let their mind go, allowing alien control. So does that look familiar to you as well?
I don't think so.
Okay, so this may be a different program. Okay. All right, well, let's just go ahead and move on. So, all right, so at this point, we established that you were at Montauk. You opened up portals. What are some of the places they wanted you to go to?
Oh boy. Well, in those early days, there was a lot of off-world stuff. There was a lot of stuff in Egypt, like a lot of stuff. They would typically scan each kid. They had a Draco who, this was literally his job. His name was Ezekiel. He was a black Draco, and he would do a psychic scan of everyone to find out what your past lives were. And oftentimes that's where they would send you, was places where you had past lives.
All right, so you would go back in time to meet your doppelganger, I guess?
No, you wouldn't necessarily go meet yourself, but you would just go to the places, the civilizations they had lived in.
And what was the goal? What were they trying to accomplish with this?
They were primarily they were manipulating the timeline to suit their own agenda, and they were also looking for ancient technology.
Wow. So, can you describe? Do you know which humans were benefiting, which bloodline families or corporations were benefiting from this program?
I know that there was heavy involvement from the Rothschilds, from many military families, elite military families from around the world, particularly the US, UK, Argentine intelligence, interestingly. And sorry, what was the question?
Well, more
man.
specifically, I wanted you to explain about how these families would use this program to make investments to help benefit their bloodlines, and that's What can you tell us about that?
They were essentially going back and eliminating every person or thing in history that was a challenge to their power. And they would also go into the future and do that so that they would always be powerful.
Yeah.
Was that when you also went back to Florence, Italy, through Montauk, or was this Looking Glass?
That was Looking Glass.
Okay. So overall, do you feel like, do you want to spend more time talking about Montauk and what you went there, or do you want to just continue into the Looking Glass aspect? What would you like to do?
I don't know. Do you want to talk about Melanie?
Okay. So who is that?
Melanie is my trauma twin, or was. She was Alex's trauma twin. She's not. It's a sensitive issue, but essentially, trauma twinning is where they take two really powerful kids and they create a bond between them using extreme trauma. In our case, it was forcing me to watch her get eaten. And then she got regenerated, and it was like, it's really difficult to talk about, but it worked, and we were a successful trauma twinning. And they do that partly because if you take two really powerful kids who are incredibly loyal to each other, then they'll basically do anything to save the other one and keep the mission going.
Wow.
And they also do it for breeding purposes a lot of the time. They oftentimes want you to have children with your trauma twin so that they'll just have basically another free asset.
So did that actually happen? They forced you to have kids?
No, we had a kid by our own choice later at Area 51. I was actually quite insubordinate, so they eventually separated us by sending me to Area 51. I think it was in late 73 to early 74 that they sent me to Area 51 because I pulled a gun on, actually it was on Preston. And so they separated us. Eventually, she also managed to get transferred to Area 51, and then we had a kid by our own choice, kind of.
Wow. Well, let's before we get to the Area 51 aspect, let's just finish up quickly through the Montauk stuff because I wanted you to talk a little bit about some of the people you might have seen at Montauk. For instance, do you think did you ever see any, say, paperclip Nazis or somebody like maybe Joseph Mengele or Michael Aquino? What do you think?
I didn't see Mengele or Aquino. I saw plenty of other people. I saw why am I drawing a blank on the name? Well, I saw many of the Joint Chiefs of Staff from various presidencies because, of course, it's all laid out ahead anyway, who's going to be what. And saw...
Okay.
I saw some celebrities. I saw Judy Garland. I saw Sharon Tate. I saw who's the guy who wrote the Satanic Bible?
Anton LaVey.
Anton LaVey. I saw him.
And
What's
they were
he
actually
doing?
working for Montauk, or you saw them through Montauk?
They were working there. Well, they were also victims.
Wow.
Most of them. The Joint Chiefs were not victims, but they weren't actively perpetrators either. They engaged with the program because they kind of didn't have a choice, but they didn't particularly like what we were doing. But the celebrities I saw were all mind control victims.
Wow. And is that where you were also writing music lyrics for different music programs, or was that later on?
Yes. Well, a lot of my alters have written music. A fair amount of it was at Montauk.
Do you remember the names of some of the songs you might have written at Montauk?
I do, yes.
Like what?
Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. Alex wrote that. There's a song, it's not well known at all, but it's called Exclusively for Me. That was written at Camp Hero, actually by a different alter of mine, Kyle, who I'm sure we'll get to eventually, but there was a song that I knew about the writing of. I didn't write it myself, but Hallelujah. I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. That song?
Yeah, careful. So YouTube doesn't look for copyright. It's kind of funny. Since you were the original author, you should or at least have titles to the copyright. But
I didn't. No, I'm not the original author. I don't want to be that impression. Janis Joplin was the original author, and she wrote it after the death of her divine counterpart. And
do you? You mentioned earlier that you were there as Alex, and then you said Kyle. What is this Kyle? Who is that?
Kyle is a different alter. He was taken there. He was in this body that I'm currently in. He was not anyone born in the 50s. He was me, and he was taken there, portaled back in time from 2014 to 1983. And he was there. So I was 13 at the time. That was not very long before the junior incident.
What's going on?
Which I was not there for. By the way, I was actually on a mission in Tibet, which is a whole story in and of itself. But
and when you said junior, you mean Bush Junior?
No, the junior, the Montauk monster.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay, so you were there when that happened.
No, I was on a mission in Tibet when that incident occurred, but I was a part of the project at that time. But I was off on a mission when the actual incident occurred, and came back, and place was a shambles. They were cleaning up pools of blood. It was not a pretty sight.
So that was your job to help clean up the mess.
Pretty much, yeah. And
How many people did they kill? Did Junior kill? Over what percent? Do you think?
gosh, most of the adults, because most of the adults were active perpetrators of the abuse.
Wow.
And some of them escaped. Some of them, somehow, I still don't know how, some of them
Hi,
convinced
VPXM.
him
Welcome
not
to
to
the
kill
channel.
them and to let them go, but most of the adults were killed. And,
Wow.
yeah.
And someone was asking, what were you doing in Tibet prior to this taking place?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. They sent me back in time to be a part of this monastery in Tibet in around the 1400s, that it had ancient technology under it. The monastery was built on top of an ancient site, deep within this mountain. And they sent me back in time to be a part of it. And so basically I just was this white kid who basically just walked up to their doorstep, and the monks were really psychic. They knew immediately who and what I was, that I was a time traveler,
No
and that I
way.
was there pretty much to steal from a sacred site, but they thought that they could fix me. So they didn't kill me right on the spot. They took me in and they started, they made me become one of them. I did still steal this technology in the end, but they gave me some perspective about what I was actually doing.
Did they tell you that you were part of a project in the future?
Yeah, they told me.
And were your memories, when they sent you on this mission, did they wipe your memories of what you were, of your origins? Like you showed up and you didn't even know.
No, they didn't. I knew. Well, I knew what I was there for, and I knew why. But I remember this one monk. Several of them led me in, and then this very elderly monk came and he sat next to me or across from me on the floor, and he said, "Look into my eyes," telepathically, because of course they didn't speak English. I didn't speak Tibetan, but he was fully telepathic, and I looked into his eyes, and he said, "You come from a later point in our cycle. You're here to steal from our people, from a sacred site, no less, but you're also a victim, and you don't want to be a disgrace to your species. So we're going to take you in."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so I guess they weren't successful on flipping you. Looks
No.
Like okay.
No.
All right. And if you refused, maybe let's just say you accepted their spirituality and didn't want to go back to the future and wanted to stay with them, would Montauk just allow you? You think they would have left you alone and just say, okay, well, we'll just give up on it?
Hell no.
So you really had no choice. You had to steal it. Otherwise, they would have. What would they have done to you?
They would have taken me, mind wiped me, and sent me on another mission. And they would have probably installed some fresh programming to overcome whatever new things I had learned. And then they would have just sent someone else back to do it, and they would have kept doing it until someone finally did steal the technology. So,
Can you describe what this technology was that they were looking for?
not really. I know it was in a very ornate, very beautiful red wooden box, and it had. There were also scrolls in the cache with it. That the scrolls had coordinates to something, to some, I don't know, a planet or a dimension. I don't know.
Okay. And I guess you were saying they're always looking for a lot of scrolls.
Oh yes, they were always looking for scrolls because that's where.
Where do you think all this stolen technology and historical relics are? Where do you think they're stored now? Is it like in the movie Indiana Jones, where you see a giant warehouse that's all boxed up, government warehouse? Maybe. What do you think?
It's something kind of like that, yeah. I mean, a lot of it's in use, but whatever is not in use, yeah, it is in underground warehouses.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's go forward here. Junior destroyed the facility, and I guess Junior they shut down the machinery, and eventually Junior dematerialized. I guess. Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you come in, you clean up. What is the next thing in your process here? What happens after that?
Well, first, we partied quite a lot because all the people who had been torturing us were dead or gone. And then we actually had a big meeting of, okay, what do we do now? And we decided, okay, the people who really just don't want to be here anymore, we're going to send them home to wherever they belong. But the rest of us are going to stay, and we're going to try and fix as much as possible all of the things that we did in the past. We're going to try and recorrect the timeline, which is an ongoing process, and that's why the project is still up and running.
So at this point, you're doing more missions, but this time you're trying to undo the bad that they did, I guess.
Correct. Yeah.
So what do you recall missions where can you give us an example of one of these missions that where they try to fix things?
Yes. I can remember one where we were actually fighting our past selves from the first time we had done this. But we went back to this same point in time again, and it was somewhere in medieval Germany or Switzerland or somewhere like that. And there was near this village, there was a battle with Draco. There was a human versus Draco battle that happened, and in the original timeline, we had gone there and we were fighting against the Draco, but then when we corrected it, we went there and we were fighting actually alongside them. So I'm guessing these were a morally better faction if we were assisting them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that just shows for people out there, just because there are certain Draco, I guess you would call these particular Draco the Thuban Draco, not all of them are going to be like this. These particular beings are probably, their souls are probably some, like the third level from hell or something. They're not, yeah, I don't even know why Source Creator even allow them to exist at this point, but, whatever. All right. Can you explain? Do you have any memories of going back to the Merovingian kings of I guess it would be what 900s or 1000 and anything like
No,
that? Okay.
not specifically. I remember a lot of medieval stuff, but I don't know where exactly it is or who exactly it was with. Because like that's names are really difficult for me, and like I said, I almost never have the audio of memories, so I can hardly ever tell what language we were speaking, even. So,
So can you explain a little bit about? So they were send these people back in time. Did they, as far as their training is concerned, were they sent on like assassination missions or were
oh,
they,
oh
or
yes,
were they also trained for like sexual programming too? I
oh yeah,
observe it. Okay, and these were kids that were
yes, they were kids. They were, yeah,
and the
between the
children the
age.
children would go out and actually kill people,
Oh yeah, all the time,
and you were forced to do that too.
many, many times.
What are some of the ways that you typically would do it? They forced you to do it.
We were taught that the easiest and most efficient way to kill a human was either a shot between the eyes or a stab through the neck. Um, and
And you would actually bring guns back with you, modern weapons.
sometimes it depended on how much risk there was of getting caught and arrested and whatnot. If there was a high risk of that, then no, because you didn't want to create a paradox where, like, if you were in the 1300s and suddenly they had a Beretta M9, that would be like kind of a mess. But
Well, there have been like reports of where they open up a cave and they find like petrified modern day watches or something like that. So do you think some things were actually created these and anomalies like that? In fact, do you get
uh, I I don't doubt it at all. Yeah.
do you remember anything specifically that got left back in time that created a problem?
I remember one time someone took a laptop back uh, into the Victorian era, and she didn't bring it back, and she got in a lot of trouble for that. But when we went back to the location where she left it, it was gone. So it was like, well, great. Hope you didn't fuck everything up, lady.
Oh my God. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so at what point did you discontinue your service with Montauk? I mean, how did they retire you?
Kyle, my alter Kyle is still there. Um, Alex got transferred as punishment in 73 or 74. Um, after, like I said, after he pulled a gun on Preston. Actually did that several times. And so he was
Pensioned out.
demoted severely, stripped of his weapons, and sent alone to Area 51 as punishment.
Wow, wow. And why would you even want to do that to Preston? Wasn't he like in charge of the project and programming all you kids?
Yeah,
Us
that's
kids, because I was there too, but I don't remember as much. John, go ahead.
yeah, he was there. He was in charge of programming. He was possibly the most evil being I have ever met in my entire existence. And that's not an exaggeration. He was a monster. And I walked in on him with a kid. I won't say what they were doing because I don't want to get your channel banned. But just by saying that, you can probably imagine. And I pulled a gun and I was going to shoot him. And or Alex was going to shoot him. And Alex's handler, who is a significant part of a lot of these memories, stopped him from doing this. And then he was sent back to the cage for several days while it was discussed, okay, what are we going to do with this kid? And
How old were you when this happened? When you walked in on him? What do you think?
I don't honestly know. I had had my age adjusted and messed with so many times, and I had been on so many different missions of varying lengths and then come back.
So these missions were not just like a couple of weeks. Some of them could have been decades.
Oh yeah.
And they would have to re-age you over and over back to, I guess they wanted you to be a 9-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why did they always wanted to keep you being that age? Why did they just let you just, I don't know, maybe a mid-20s?
Because that age is when psychic abilities are the strongest.
Wow, that's interesting.
For one thing, and for another thing, for abuse purposes. Because they like people. You can finish that sentence.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah.
Do you remember any SRA kind of rituals, bloodletting, or anything like that? I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, that's perfectly fine.
Not at Montauk, no. They were more high tech. They weren't any nicer, but they were more high tech in their methods. In another project that I am aware of that I don't think I'm really supposed to talk about, but yes, definitely there were things like that.
Did you did they ever do did Gloria Vanderbilt ever do a ritual on you?
Not that I can recall.
All right, this as well. Good job. All right, so you almost killed Preston, and they put you. I guess they said you put you back in the cage, right?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So at what point did they? How did they rehabilitate you? Put you back? What did they do next?
Well, eventually after.
John. Oh. Wow. Well, it looks like we lost John, but you know what? We certainly went into. Looks like we got most of our questions in about Montauk. While we wait for John to get back, we wanted to mention a little bit about. Let's see. Let's take care of this. And okay, how about we go through some questions? Maybe I can answer. Let's see here. I've got some information on Nicholas Cruz. That was the shooter at the high school, and I think it was at Parkland. I was thinking down Miami. Supposedly that. Okay, John's back.
Yes.
Hey, John. Since somebody asked a question, Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and answer this question real quick. So, when I had Peter the Insider come on the show, according to his intel, Nicholas was being shot up with cortexiphen, and that high school, I think that district, the police chief was best friends with Hillary Clinton, so there was a lot of connections with Monarch experimentations at that high school, and they were shooting the kid up. And he was a super soldier, and he shapeshifted into some kind of creature. I think he said he had like a lion head, but he was wearing a helmet, and he went around the school, and the weapons popped out of his own body. So it was like the program doesn't matter. That's why, yeah, we're hearing you, John. But that's why they wanted to confiscate. The MIB went in there to confiscate all the cameras because they can't let people know that that he didn't. According to Peter Insider, he didn't even bring a weapon onto campus. It came out of his own body. So thank you, Barbara, for that question. John, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Uh,
I don't have much longer. My family is going to be here soon, but
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, so
I can answer a few more questions.
yeah. All right, we'll bring you back on to talk about the looking glass later. Then, how's that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay, so how much time do you think we have?
10 or 15 minutes. Right.
Okay. Okay, so all right, we'll go through some questions now. So somebody's asking, is Montauk totally
Yep.
closed now? What do you think? What do you think, Nancy?
Did you see Biden's grandchildren have been getting money from overseas businesses? Even his grandchildren have been getting money, and they're like 5 years old and 10 years old and that.
No, it is. No, it is definitely not. Well, okay, Camp Hero is no longer where it's at. It's now in New Orleans, underneath an abandoned naval base. You can look this place up. It's at 4400 Dauphine Street. And it, but no, the project itself is ongoing. And by the way, it is not and never was called the Montauk Project. It's called Project Phoenix. Yeah, that place.
The Edward Herbert Defense Company. What are we looking at here? What is this?
That's the base that is now, or it has a dome under it, I guess. I should clarify. That is now being used. The chair is there and everything, and
Yep.
Wow. Fire. There's fires here. Okay, so go to. Wow, this is it right here. And a Navy base. So, can you explain a little bit about this? Because some are saying that Project Phoenix, whatever you want to call it, is actually there was a it's like in a pocket reality outside of time.
Yeah, but it's not a pocket reality. It's in a time bubble or a time freezing zone, if you want to be really specific about it. It's a similar thing, but not quite the same.
So that's why the kids that were originally taken back in the 1960s are in this time freezing zone. So maybe the technology still kind of looks very much like the 60s, because that's and they're re-aging the kids, so everybody's kind of staying the same age.
Yeah,
so definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. So some of them, like some experiencers, are describing seeing reptilians and jeeps driving around around Camp Hero on the surface area, and looking for children to EAT. That they are looking for, that were being disobedient, whatever they thought. So this probably never really took place in our reality. It was in this pocket, or what'd you say, bubble?
Probably, if I had to hazard it, I would say you're probably right. Yeah.
Okay. And can you also comment under Project Rainbow or Project Phoenix? How many of these projects are there around the world? Because it's not just under Camp Hero and this bubble, or now to say New Orleans, but how many do you think there are?
A lot. I know China and Russia each have one. Hungary, of all places, did have one, but I believe it was actually shut down in the 90s. Let's see, where else?
How about under Brookhaven Labs?
Quite possibly.
Yeah, there's rumors that the program got extended out, and I think that's where I was connected to, according to some of the work that I did with Jimmy Payne. He worked at Montauk. Okay, and so there seems to be another project going underneath the South Portal Canyon, just north of Los Angeles, deep underground. That area, there's a program. Yeah, they're And there's one also underneath the Hilton Hotel in Waikiki Beach. It seems like the Hilton hotels are connected with this. I don't know, John. I don't know if you have any aware of that.
I know a little about that. That a lot of them have like elevator jump gates.
Wow.
And another one that no one has really talked about that also has a lot of jump gates in their offices is the video game company Square Enix. There's the very famous one that they have at 999 Sepulveda near LAX. But they have ones in their other offices too, in Tokyo and in I think it's in either Toronto or Montreal in their Canadian headquarters. There's also a huge facility underneath Seattle that you access it via the Needle building. If you type in a code into the elevator, it goes down instead of up. And yeah, there's a lot of these around the country and the world, and also on other planets even.
Wow. So okay, lots of great questions here. I guess we're still. Well, we got 10 minutes now, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Nicole is actually. Oh wait, that's not. I guess you answered that. But also maybe more specifically, what can you advise people that were in these projects that were mind wiped? What can they do to get help recover their memories? Anything? Any advice?
First of all, ask yourself if you really want them. And if you decide you do, then okay, first of all, you need to make friends who can be there with you. Make friends within the SSP community who will be able to support you through this process. Do not go through it alone, because I went through it alone and it literally almost killed me. And then, from what I found, I never underwent any of this, but it seems that regression hypnosis is the most accurate and safe way of doing it.
Okay. All right. Can you explain to people what they actually do to erase the memories? What do you know about it?
From what I can remember, it's being put into like an MRI-looking type of machine, and you also have something on your head like a helmet, and it treats your brain like a computer, and it's literally like as if it's erasing data from a computer.
Wow. Sort of like the do they have like a neuralizer that you see in the Men in Black, where you hold a little rod in front of somebody, it flashes them?
Nothing that small, no. But there were things that could be put in, like in sunglasses and stuff. And it's not like where you wear sunglasses like in that movie to protect yourself. You actually give the sunglasses to the person whose mind you want to wipe, and then it will do that. But it's not that reliable, and it's not 100% successful. So,
do you have any ideas on how this technology works? How are they able to take away the memories? Are they actually taken away, or are they just in a little pocket in the astral body?
They're just in another pocket, because if you do enough work, then eventually they're going to come back at least a little bit. So,
and that's where this 13 cube is coming into place, right?
Yep.
And why do you call it the 13 cube?
Because that's how many were made. It's treated like a data array in a computer. Each altar being a. I'm not a tech person, okay? I believe the term would be a file in that data array, and gosh, and they would make a 13 by 13 by 13 by 13 cubic array, which is 2,197 altars.
Wow.
And I am really sorry, my family just got here.
All right. Well, John, why don't you go ahead and say your goodbyes?
Yes. Thank you. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me, James. If any of what I'm saying sounds familiar, or if I sound familiar to you, maybe, you can find me on Facebook or in the by the email address James has for me down in the description. Thanks for having me.
Okay, guys, I've got another one of theirs lined up. No, not that one. Hang on. Yeah, this will do.
Address those coordinates.
It's a shame Bass isn't here tonight. Bass is really up to date on all this stuff. Although Tricky's holding his
Hello,
own.
everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is like I think it's like my 5th interview this week. It's all good. I'm energized. Everybody.
James is a busy guy.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So, so today we have Colin here, and Colin's actually been on here before. And Colin, you're probably one of our more favorite guests. Not that I'm saying the other guests aren't favorites too. I'm really, but so Colin.
I think I've done this one, guys. Hang on.
James today are going to be sharing some updates about some more regression notes, as well as some remote viewing notes pertaining to the super soldier community. So Colin is a super soldier. I'm pretty sure he was in Darkfleet. He's a remote viewer, precognitive. He's clairaudient. I met him in the SSP at the 500 room Mercator Retreat Hotel in Iaptis. That was my altar, Derek Reinholder, who's also busy at the same time. Derek was a non-commissioned officer for Fire Team S in Knockoff and Regier. Knockoff and Regier is a branch.
Yeah, we watched that yesterday, guys, or the day before. Or I watched it on my own and didn't realise.
Wanna be compromised in order to my cover.
No, that's not the one I wanted. Hang on. Actually, yes, it is.
And all kind of the stuff, and I don't know why they such strongly hate this. I mean, don't.
Okay, I don't think that's going to be coherent. Let me find something else. Hang on, guys. Okay, maybe I got something now. Hang on. Oh no! Don't want to talk about sleepers in Las Vegas. I'll get a community standard strike. Hang on, guys. Bear with me. Okay, this looks interesting. Inner Earth Mysteries. Sorry, guys. Has it loaded yet? Yeah, it has. Good night, BPXM. I got that. I'm going to split joke. I did get that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Super Soldier Talk. I'm James Rink, and I have Peter, the insider, with me today. And we're going to continue our conversation into the unknown. I guess what's actually maybe unknown, at least to Peter, but maybe not known to us. So I guess the last conversation, well, we've done already 2 interviews already. The last interview we did, we talked about some of the extraterrestrial presence, and we also mentioned that we have ability for people to get access to their file. So that information is going to be in the video description contents. So you can, if you want to, if you think you're a MyLab, or if you've been involved with, I guess, extraterrestrial contact, and you think the ACIO might have a file on you, then I mean, even if they don't, then nothing. It's always worth a try. So, without any further ado, Peter, are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, great. So, Peter, I have a list of some questions today. I'm not sure which direction you want to take it, but I guess we can maybe start off with your implant, because some people had concerns that your implant had was
Okay, Tree, good night, mate. God bless.
Well, they want to know who's controlling it. Are you controlling the implant in your head? I guess maybe I should mention to people who are new. You claimed he had an implant that is able to induce telekinesis, or is that what it is? Or is it
Not only that, it is very complicated, but not only like that. It can, make telekinesis. It is only one ability. Hypnosis to another people, to myself too, to go into deeper levels of subconscious, to communicate telepathically with people. It is, very, very useful and handy thing, but you need to know how to work with that, because it can become very dangerous.
Is that like where you're talking about the mark of the beast, and you're plugged into an AI computer and
for example, something like that? Yeah.
Well, how do we know that you're not infected with black goo? I'm assuming. I think you mentioned. Did you mention the black goo? Or hopefully you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, black goo. It means black goo is the same as PPA. What means pathologic predatory artificial intelligence. That's the thing that black goo. They are black goose. They are causing people always only trouble. I mean, like blackouts, when they are not, how can I say that, really black out. I mean, they don't seems to be for their surroundings, but they've got no memories for a certain specific period of time.
G'day, Peter. Good to see you, mate. Welcome to the channel.
Okay, so it's like a blackout.
Their last memories, they're in certain specific time and place, and then just like blink of eye, and they are in completely different time and completely different place, and no memories what happened between this period of time.
Is that the same as walking?
You mean like sleepwalking?
No, like a soul that allegedly
Wow, they
leaves the
look like
body
the
during
radar
like a
pinpoint.
near-death experience, and then a new
Ah,
soul
you mean
comes
like
back
that? Yes, something the same, very similar. Not the same, but very similar. Yeah.
in.
But via PPAI, they are abusing your body because your body they changed it for vessel to
Vessel.
do vessel to
But-
commit everything.
I don't understand that word.
Vessel like
Oh.
just vessel for like how can I say that? I will kill you and my soul will jump into your body. This is the vessel principle.
Okay. And do you think that's what's going on with the super soldiers that have like blacking out and getting needle marks, injection marks?
Not all of them, and most of them. I don't know, 80, maybe 90% of them. Yeah,
So there might be a
it
possibility.
happened regularly. It happened regularly.
Okay, because I do get needle marks almost on a daily basis. Does that mean? Well, I guess maybe we should talk about that later. What's going on with me? Because I didn't want to jump around too much here. But as far as you are concerned, so you have full control over. I guess you have full control over your implant. At least you think you do. Is that correct thinking?
Yeah, you are right.
All right. So people that drink, I guess that they drink the mint tea because the people who are not aware, apparently if you drink this mint tea, it helps you be recruited by the ACIO.
Yes.
Okay, so are you gonna get the implant too?
No, there is no implant needed.
Okay, so drink the mint tea, but you don't have to have an implant. I guess is the way it goes. Which hopefully that answers some people's concerns. Now I did a little bit of vetting on you and this ACIO organization, and it does appear that they're connected with very positive extraterrestrials. And what's going on here with Peter is, I guess, one of the first stages of disclosure, which I'm very grateful to participate in. So I just thought I'll throw that out there to the audience. And besides, mint tea tastes pretty good. And by the way, I've been drinking mint tea even before I met Peter. So I've been drinking it for about a year already, a year and a half or so. But I made my mint tea with Palo d'Arco bark, and actually tasted pretty good. And I used stevia. But follow the recipe for that. But okay, so let's continue on here. I guess I was just curious. How old is planet Earth? Do you have any information on that?
I don't want to say correct information, but according our information, the old, I mean, determined by scientists. I don't know. It's almost 6 billions of year or something like that, approximately. It's pretty much fits the reality. Yeah.
Okay. And there's this guy on the internet. I think his name is Toby Smith. I think his name goes by, and he claims that the largest nation on planet Earth is in Agarthia, and I think he said there was, I don't know how many billions of people were down there. I don't have that. I don't have that in my notes. But do you happen to have an idea how many people live in Agarthia?
No. That's I'm pretty sure that I mentioned it in last interview that we are living not in hollow Earth, but in onion Earth, and it is not only one layer.
Wow, that's interesting. We're not in a hollow Earth. We're in an onion Earth, which he's just about to explain are layers. That's actually very good, well put.
Yeah. So there are another layers, and there are billions of people, not only like 7.25 billion of I don't want to say people, but intelligent beings. But because we are we are okay with term people, so let us call them all of them like people, even uh, if a lot of them are not people but aliens or crossbreeds, but intelligent beings, if you want to name them that way. Because, for example, I'm pretty sure that I mentioned it. Approximately 10% of uh, intelligent beings population on this known Earth, they are not humans, okay, and they've got also human rights, the same as we've got. Yeah, so it is very complicated question. Do you know what I mean? It's not so easy.
Yeah. So I guess India, China, and the United States are not the largest countries on this planet. It could be others.
No. They are all spread it all around the world. All around the world.
Oh, okay. But I was referring to inner Earth, or I guess the onion layered Earth.
Yeah. Onion layer. Yeah.
Okay.
And we are living inside, actually, not in outside, but in inside of the ball, if you wanna say it that way.
So if you were to go up into space, you would hit the other layer of
No,
onion
no,
Earth?
no, 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 no. We are living on the very last. From you, where you can reach the middle of Earth, but it is not the middle like no matter. And you will reach the portal, teleportation portal. You will be teleported, and you will be mirrored uh, on the other side of Earth, and you will be just traveling. I mean, continue traveling.
All right. So I guess if you were out in space and looking down on planet Earth, it would still look like a sphere with all the continents.
Yes, because it is mirror image. Yeah, you are absolutely right. So it is not only because normal, also called uh, normal teleports, they are working for okay, we need to move uh, stuff. I mean, material. It doesn't matter if living or non-living from point A to point B immediately, no delay. But this is like enhanced teleport because there can be interaction. I mean, I don't know, you can see sun, but there is actually no sun here on Earth because it is on inner Earth. You can hear, I mean, sun in the day, during the day. You can see the sky, I mean, with all stars. Yeah, but there is actually no stars. It is only image of it. You can see the uh, polar light. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the
Hey, buddy, good to see ya.
Borealis and Australis.
Yeah. On the poles, they are on poles. That's the thing. Everything. It isn't fake, like total fake, but it's only image. But this image is so real that it can really affect us. So that's the thing. Why this teleport is very unique. You can never build such a teleport. And I mean, not you, I mean, like mankind. Nobody. I mean, no aliens, no race, nobody. Yeah? It's very unique in the whole universe.
Right, and it's a natural occurrence.
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe one day scientists could figure out a way to replicate that. I suppose when their technology can get to a certain level and something positive, useful can come from that. But okay, now you mentioned to me that the first beings that moved to planet Earth, humans in a way, were being black people in Africa. Is that about 10 to 12 million years ago?
Yes.
And were they genetically engineered by the Anunnaki, or were they a different race altogether?
No. It's complicated. Anunnaki, they always had fingers on everything because they love experimenting with DNA. Go and ask them why. They simply love that, right? And
would they get really technical with you and just start spewing out all the stuff about cloning and how
something like that.
Transhumanism.
There were different three very big like uh red directions of evolution between 10 and 12 million years, when Africa, I mean like black people, then yellow people, I mean Mongoloids people, they appeared like 5 to 10 million of years ago, and then approximately from 1.2 and 1.5 millions of years, white people, I mean European people, maybe Caucasian.
Okay. Yeah, I wrote down 5 to 6 million years ago, Asians and Native Americans. Was about 10 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Asians and Native Americans, because Native Americans, they are all derivated. I mean, like, do you know what I mean? It rips out, and the roots were the same. I mean, of Native Americans and Asians.
And are they from like another planet?
No. Everything was, if you wanted to say that way, built, created on this planet. But they've got plans, blueprints, if you want to call it like that. They've got built the blueprints on another planets. Yeah.
Okay, because I was under the impression that Asians were from Sirius B.
No. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Nothing was created on another planet. No. They've got only blueprints.
Well, it could be like a hybrid race from another planet, and that's why they look different. Asians.
Yeah, but for example, look at black people. They are not. How can I say that? Some of them are total black, like absolute black, and some of them are like, how can I say that? I don't want to sound like racist, but for example, like cow milk chocolate. It is not black. It is like brown, and these people are considered like black, but they are not total black. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there are different type of genes too. It is like, I don't know. We've got Nordics people in Europe, and they are like tall, blonde, maybe red haired, and they are blue, maybe green eyed, and they've got lack of pigment. Do you know what I mean? And for example, there are mixed people, all kind of mixed people, and in a Mediterranean area, they are really like high pigmented people, and they've got very dark brown, almost black hair, or maybe black hairs, and uh, brown and black eye. Yeah. So, but they are, all of them, they are white people. I mean Caucasians. The same thing. I don't know. Look at Chinese people. Look at people from, I don't know, a different part of China. Look at people from, I don't know, Korea, from Japan. All of them are different.
And even like the Aboriginal people from Australia, different from.
Of course.
Right.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So okay. Now I was curious. Were dinosaurs roaming the earth when the first black people were in Africa? I guess 10 to 12 million years ago.
That's the thing that they killed dinosaurs with the experimental weapon. Approximately 65 from 64 to 66, 67 years, millions of years ago.
Okay.
No. I mean, like this claiming what scientists are claiming that they were killed. It is actually right, but the thing is that it wasn't like a giant
Meteor.
asteroid or something.
Yeah.
It was like a super weapon strike or something like that because of experiment.
Okay. So it wasn't like a bio weapon, perhaps. Or maybe it was.
Yes,
It
yes,
was?
maybe a biochemical weapon.
Huh.
We are not so sure.
So if the dinosaurs were not extincted, I guess is the word you could use, they probably would have gone on and become sentient and maybe compete with the reptilians from other
Yeah,
planets.
that's the thing. That was the reason why they were doing all that.
To get rid of the competition.
Yeah, but hey, yeah, that's true.
Okay. Well, I guess it helped the humanoid folks, so we don't become food, I suppose. Unless, but apparently there are some of these dinosaur-like creatures in inner Earth.
Yes,
So,
you are right.
so if people ever wander into those caves, they do become food. Um, but you have to go down pretty deep to get down there. But
Yes.
okay, so 1.2 million years ago, Caucasians arrived, and then I guess at that point, Atlantis and Lemuria was at the height. I guess Pan, was it Pan, or I'm trying to think of the other name of the civilization,
Pangea,
yes.
Avalon. And then I'm not sure if this is true or not, but about 300,000 years ago, Mars had a bunch of war, and they had a thermonuclear bomb destroy the surface of the planet, and those beings were brought to planet Earth. Is there any truth to that?
Sorry. How many years ago?
300,000 BC or BCE.
300. Sorry. You because you counted from the date when the war ends. Sorry, I was I was just a little bit shocked. Okay, yeah.
So is that
Yes.
correct? About
Yeah,
300,000
yeah.
years ago?
Because this war was for what? For almost two hundreds of thousands of years.
Okay.
Of years.
And what were the beings on Mars fighting over? Do you happen to know any information about Martian history?
What was they fighting
Good
over?
question.
Yeah, why?
Of course, it was very easy for resources.
And what was that planet like? A jewel-like planet Earth, beautiful at one point with oceans and.
Yeah, you are right. Mm-hmm.
Do you think the Anunnaki got involved in that and manipulated those people?
Hey, my friend, everything bad Anunnaki are involved. Just
See, they don't understand the Anunnaki of the fallen angels. They must know that. They just mustn't believe it. They'd have to know that because we know it.
it is there. It is there like illness. They simply wanna. They spread some black seed. I mean some bad things, and they are just enjoying the view. Yeah,
Wow.
they are.
Okay. Well,
They are.
surely there must be some Anunnaki on planet X who don't like what's gone on and what's gone on in the history, and they want to try to make something positive. It's not like, right? You think there'll be someone?
Yes, but problem is that they are not so technically advanced because these bad Anunnaki, they colonized Planet X, what means Nibiru, and they turned Nibiru upside down, literally, and made everything to one huge warfare factory.
I'm surprised they haven't self-destructed if they're so warlike.
No. They are very peaceful
So they're among themselves. They're peaceful.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Okay.
They are enjoying fighting between another. I mean, inside another races, or maybe between another races. That's the thing.
All right. So
And they are benefiting of it, of course.
benefiting what from the trade of the resources?
Yeah, of course, because once if it's chaos on another planet inhabited by one race, or maybe two, three, or even more races are fighting between each other, yeah, there is chaos. And come on, these resources, they are practically free for them because there is chaos, and they love chaos.
All right. All right. Okay. So around 300,000 years ago, it's alleged that some of these beings from Mars were brought to planet Earth, where they crossbred with the Atlanteans and Lemurians, and the warlike aggression DNA started to spread into the human bloodlines. And that's ultimately what led to the destruction of Atlantis, about 50,000 years ago, and then again in 10,000, the final fall.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
correct?
that's I mean, how can I say that? I don't want to say absolutely correct, because these years, I mean these periods of time, I don't want to say that they are not accurate, but it was long time ago, but pretty much it's pretty much okay,
Okay.
according our knowledge.
Now, I was just curious. Do you have any information on what caused the destruction of Atlantis?
Of course, test of the
Great
name in
questions.
English language, fuse bomb.
A fusion bomb.
Fusion bomb, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Was it through the crystal technology, or was it actual crystals exploding, or was it the fusion, some thermonuclear explosion?
No. Crystal fusion.
Okay, is that all right? So I'm assuming modern day scientists haven't exactly harnessed that yet.
No. Definitely not. Absolutely.
I guess.
We tested. I mean, ACIO as a part of subdivision of Project Camelot. Yeah, we tested such things in some planets. Tested. Sorry, testing planets very far away in outer space, and it's wow, it got terrible consequences. I mean, using this fuse bomb, like rather use, I don't know, 1 million of, I don't know, Russian Tsar bombs than one fusing bomb. Trust me.
Yeah, and the Tsar bomb was the largest nuclear test that went off.
Device testing ever.
Yeah.
It's four times larger. I mean, more powerful than it was Castle Yankee or Castle Bravo. I don't know. I think that Castle Bravo was the most. Castle Bravo was the most powerful one. Tested nuclear device tested by U.S.
All right. So ultimately, I'm assuming it destabilized the tectonic strata under the continent of Atlantis, and it melted it. I guess the magma, and it sunk that way.
Yeah.
That kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully this time around people can learn not to mess around with that and maybe overcome this warlike aggression. But anyway, okay. So I was just curious about the Bugechi Mountain facility. I think now for people who don't know what that is, there is a facility within the Bugechi Mountains in Romania, I believe it is, that allegedly has technology in there, holographic equipment to view histories of the Earth, up to the year 1400 AD, as well as technology to enhance intelligence. And it was also created by, it appears that it was by giants, occupied this facility. Now, I was just curious, Peter, have you actually been in this Bagechi Mountain facility?
Yeah, but the thing is that the ability of showing who cares past and future, but I don't want to say actual future, but possible scenarios of future, okay? That's the thing. It's practically unlimited. But it is so overwhelming, it is highly not recommended to do that. I mean, to see certain specific, uh, uh, you know, period of past, it's okay, because it will show only what happened in this actual timeline. But to want to see what will happen in because there are tons of different possible futures. I mean, future scenarios. So don't do that, people. If you will go on this facility, because many people who were there and tried to do that, they went crazy, literally.
Why? Because what, they like remote viewed their death?
No. Because they were overwhelmed by information.
Because the human
Wow.
DNA is not upgraded to the point where it can handle that technology?
No. I mean, yes, you are right, but this device is just taking so
Wow.
many, uh,
Di, can you
things
send me that link on Skype, please? That looks really good.
so many things relevant, so many
I'll
factors,
go and check if you already have.
so many contexts that it can show you, I don't know how many millions of maybe billions of possible futures that you will be like driving nuts in few seconds. You
Oh,
can't handle it.
so the machine doesn't know to slow down for our psyche. It just
I
whatever.
how can I say that it is like I don't know how can I say that, like you will drive only, I don't know, 46 50 60 years old, small car, and then bam, I've got keys from Ferrari to you, and like and you like a instant crash, you know what I mean? Because you will be not okay with how much power you will got under the hood. It's something like that.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it influences the decisions you make, and that ultimately makes for bad decisions. Perhaps.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming you did not you did not look into the future for you personally.
Yeah, definitely not,
Okay.
because it's
Okay.
very dangerous.
All
Trust me.
right. Well, what happens if you were in the machine and just had a little thought came in your head? You were just a little bit curious. Next thing you know, the machine starts doing it.
Yeah, that's the
That
thing.
can happen.
I need to know how to limit the machine.
Oh, so
I mean, how to limit machine, how many possible futures. I mean, like most possible variants of future I wanted to see. For example, okay, let's start with, I don't know, 10,000. I don't care about 10,000. Okay, let's eliminate to 5,000, and I don't care. Okay, let's eliminate it to, I don't know, 2,000. Let's make 1,000 and just downgrade it. And what about, like, I will downgrade it to, I don't know, 10, maybe 20,000, 10, maybe 20 variants of future. And okay, I consider interesting as interesting, like for example, like these three or these five variants. Do you know something like that? Because if you don't set any limitations, you will be overloaded. Not only you, I mean like every uh, mankind being.
Okay. Now, you mentioned to me that that facility is 500,000 years old, or is it older?
Yes, but that's the thing that they are these. We call them memory blocks.
Memory blocks. So what? Wait, what's being blocked?
No. Memory blocks. Blocks. I mean, like something like hard drives.
Oh, so it goes up to 500,000 years ago, and then after that, you don't know.
No. I mean, before that, we know also, and after that, we know too, because these memory blocks are as a hard drive. I just want to say that it was completed one 500,000 years ago.
So the hard drive's capacity is 500,000 years. Is what you're saying?
No. It's unlimited. I just want to say that whole facility was finished. I mean, the build of it, the building was finished half millions of years ago.
So
It has nothing to do with ability of facility to go deeper into past and into the future. No, there is no connection between it.
all right. So that would mean that now the beings that built it were giants.
Yes.
So does that mean everybody on planet Earth back then was a lot bigger than they are now?
Oh, but it's very normal. I mean, like, look at the evolution. I don't want to say that evolution theory is right, but look at evolution. There were giants,
Thank you, mate.
plants, and animals.
I enjoy your
And
company
we've
too,
got,
brother.
in the past, and we've got fossils as an evidence. Do you know what I mean?
What would you say? I didn't quite understand that last word.
Fossils. I mean, like these bodies in stones. You know,
Facilities.
facilities. Yeah, we've got them as an evidence, solid evidence that everything was much bigger in the past.
So I'm assuming that we actually have de-evolved because the people more technologically advanced back then, or is it?
Yes, because there were 12 spirals in the human DNA, and now they are only two spirals. You know.
And is that the same even if you get the implant from ACIO and drink the mint tea? It still be two?
No.
Oh.
They will be two, but you will be boosted. I mean, enhanced like you got 12. That's the thing.
All right. Okay. So now you mentioned something about this facility. It was like out of time. Is that correct? The Baguette Mountain facility.
Yeah, it's one of these type thinky things all around the world, the earth. They are physical representation of this out of time and out of space facility. It is like a rescue facility when something goes very bad on Earth, and everything need to be saved. We made uh, like capsule, time and space capsule. We will be living in like a giant circle, time circle. Do you know what I mean?
Like a
I mean,
dilation.
time loop, something like that.
Oh, okay.
And it will be working like that until we will not going for this is the solution. Figure the problem out.
Okay, so this is out of time to save us in case of cataclysms.
Something like that. They are these there are more the exact same facilities all around the world.
So
One of them are in Africa, one of them in Asia, one of them here, land down under in Australia,
Wow.
one of them in North, one of them in South America. Yeah.
Wow.
all right, and I guess so. When you say out of time, does that mean if you actually were to enter one of these facilities, your watch would show a different time as if you were to compared to the clocks outside the facility?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
And you need to be really cautious for that
Why is that?
because the time is flowing the different speed. Because this is the how can I say that the reason why we are we members and officers or members agents and officers of ACIO why we are using why we are having two watches, one watch for like normal purposes, but second one it's something like, for example, anti-gravitation reactor, because anti-gravitation reactor works like to eliminate g-force in in uh, uh, fast speeds and fast acceleration, but once it will be working every single time via the spacecraft, the aircraft will be on in the air, it will cause really big damage. So uh, there is automatic measuring of need of anti-gravitation field level, and it is something like that on this watch. Second watch, that there is automatic limitation, automatic uh, measurement system for level of speeding or maybe slowing the time for me or maybe for another ACIO people working for ACIO to have an idea about correct flowing speed of time outside the facility. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because normal watch it's like nuts. You are there is no chance to rely on them on normal watch.
All right. So when you actually do visit the facility, go inside it, how long do you typically are you allowed to be in there safely?
Safely?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good question. That's good question. Because, for example, for us it was but it was it was uh, in Asia, and I was there for 3 years.
In the facility itself?
Yeah, that's the problem. In facilities, 3 years, because these facilities they looks like small, but they are really big. Problem is that it was 3 days outside the facility.
Oh wow. So you aged three years?
No.
Age?
I was de-aged.
You were de-aged during this 3 year period.
No. How can I say that? It was 3 years inside the facility, but once I leave the facility, I need to go for de-aging process.
What is the de-aging process? Sorry for I'm not laughing. I'm just curious.
No, everything is okay.
What
is
is
okay. It's like how can I say that? You go for, give me a sec, from 15 to 30 minutes to sleep, and it is not sleep. It's like just like you will be just like very tired but not sleeping, and you will be inject. I don't know what's it is like fluid, right? Intravenosis.
There's probably some nano injection, maybe.
Yeah, I mean not nano, femto, because nano is only -9, femto they are -15. Yeah, but I don't know. To be honest, I am not so familiar with the process, but it is something like that. Yeah, most probably, but I don't know.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because in the last interview you did, you mentioned how the Men in Black's sunglasses look black, and that because of the femto technology? It appears black to our eyes.
Yes, but they are actually not black.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I guess so. Technically, I'm assuming that the de-aging technology probably is not going to be released to the general public for quite some time, until humanity.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That for example, you can be de-aged from, you can survive. I don't know. Friend of mine was de-aged. I don't want to say. Okay, I got it 600 of years, 6 centuries.
Well, so he's de-aged over and over again, so he can.
No. He was in time loop because he was on mission on another planet, and they were trapped in time loop, trying to solve the problem the best way, and they spent 6 centuries, and so he needs to be de-aged.
Well,
Yeah.
So he if he's 600 years old, he would look quite elderly, I'm assuming, when he came back.
No. He 600 of years. It will he looks like 6 years older than before the mission.
Oh, so they couldn't get him all the way back.
There are some limitations. Yes.
All right. So.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah.
1 to 100.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, how can I say that? Of course, they can do that for I don't know half year. I mean, 6 months or something. But they were playing it safe. Let us say it that way. Do you know what I mean? Like there are practically no limitations, but there will be risks naturally.
Okay. Well, I had someone contact me. He claims he was taken to Mars. He was 6 years old, and they took him to Mars, and they told him that planet Earth suffered a cobalt bomb attack, and that they're going to go after all the ETs that destroyed planet Earth and steal their tech to get at them. And so he was there for about 35 years, stealing all. He worked as like an engineer on one of their ships. And then one day his commander pulled him, and he was given injections every week. And then one day his commander pulled him aside and said, "I'm sorry." He turned off the recording device and said, "I'm sorry, we lied to you. We're going to send you back." And then they sent him back to be, I guess they de-aged him to when he was about 6 years old again. And he's had all sorts of emotion, all sorts of problems associated with the trauma with that. But can they technically bring someone back down from an adult to a child?
Of course, absolutely no problem.
Huh.
I just said that extreme, because I said, for example, it was 3 years, and it was not 6 days, 3 days. My bad, sorry. So just make it. It's not so complicated or 6 days or who cares? But that's the thing that no, I mean it for real. That it is complicated, you know.
Yeah. So why aren't they using this tech on, like, say, Henry Kissinger or George Bush Sr.?
Okay, and
Yeah,
what
I
do
mean,
you
they
think
look like they're
that?
getting
Okay,
older and
okay,
older.
but what do you think? The vessel, the body, okay, but what do you think?
Are you asking me why?
Need
Oh,
do the vessel, the body necessarily need look good? No. Who cares? No. Warren Buffett is the richest man. I don't want to say richest man in the world, but the richest man in the world just because of making transactions on stock market, right? He's involved in this project too, and he's age I don't know, more than 80, 80, 85, 88, I don't know.
oh, and you're suggesting he's been de-aged?
No, I'm just
Oh, okay.
saying that he is young, but his physical body, his vessel is old. Who cares? Once he is working, I mean his body is working. Once everything is okay, there is no need for spreading like like panic or something. He is just like ordinary guy.
Okay, so maybe it's part of the public facade that they don't want to make Henry Kissinger or Bush Sr. look young, because then people are going to start asking questions.
Yeah, it is.
I was going to mention that. I was going to say, well, how did the Queen die then? I knew there'd be some reason.
The same with Buffett, because many people from Wall Street is like, oh, Buffett is our god. You know what I mean?
Well, couldn't they just make clones of these guys, and then the
No,
clones
no,
would
no.
live out
That's the
life?
thing. That's the thing you just mentioned. They never will start asking questions once everything seems to be normal.
Okay. Oh, there you have it. All right. Well, do you I guess, would you want to talk more about what you saw inside the Bugetchi Mountain facility, or did you want to go into another topic?
Well, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Sure. Well, let's talk.
Okay, we'll do this one more topic and I'll go, guys.
What? Go ahead. What you want me to decide?
I don't know, because I think that we've got questions.
Okay. Well, I was just curious. What did it look like inside the Bugetchi Mountain facility? Was it really dark and a lot of
Oh,
cobwebs
no,
everywhere?
no. It's super modern facility inside.
So the walls look white, like out of something out of Star Wars.
No. Like in this, I don't know, in this institution, in the Monarch solution. If somebody wanna play the video game, Quantum Break or something like that, very good game, trust me. Something like that.
Okay. And I guess, can you confirm it actually looked like giants occupied the facility?
Oh, but which shape? Giants of which shape?
Human giants used to run that facility or built it?
Yeah, long time
Wow.
ago, but yes.
And how tall do you think these humans might have been?
Approximately, give me a sec, approximately from 7 to 10 feet.
Wow.
All right. That's not I terribly tall. I guess maybe. I mean, there were certainly giants. Like in North America, the Native Americans interfaced with them, and I think that the Smithsonian Institute actually destroyed a lot of skeleton remains to hide the truth that giants have been around. But that certainly is plausible. But so when you interfaced with the technology, what did you actually see? Are you at liberty to tell us?
I don't know what you wanted to hear, because for me it wasn't like something special. Bugachi Mountains facility or like any facility all around the world, or facilities all around the world, they were nothing special for me. Like nothing will impress me, right?
Really?
Nothing,
So what?
nothing I've not been seeing before, right?
Okay. Okay. Then what? Tell us something that actually did impress you. Maybe let's just jump there.
Not there, but they nuked. I don't want to say nuked, but they want to look like they nuked Area 51, S4, and 2, and I mean and second, and all kind of stuff. These facilities, they actually don't nuke them, so people living in Nevada can be okay. No radiation, like or something like that. But they faked that in order to clear all people from area, because they are rebuilding it, and they are uh, renovating it, like making it more modern, more up to date. And to be honest, I really like that kind of technology. Yeah, but once is smart technology in the hands uh, of stupid people, that's never gonna end well. Trust me.
So that's why they don't want a lot of this technology to get in the public. They view people as just
No,
too
no.
incompetent.
Problem is that these people, these all so-called scientists in Groom Lake facility. I don't want to say that they are dumb by their, scientists point of view angle, yeah, but they are dumb because they are selfish, and they are playing ignorance, total ignorance to risks, yeah, to risks. No, they just wanna play. I mean, oh, let's play. We've got new things. Let's play. No, that's bad attitude.
Well, I heard that they typically don't necessarily hire the smartest and brightest for the Groom Lake facility, but they focus on scientists and individuals who are loyal to the secrecy more so than the actual brilliance behind the mind.
That's the thing. But that's the thing. That's the reason why they are doing crazy stuff. Because these people, I don't want to say they are brilliant in that what they are doing, but they are ignorant to all the risks.
Okay, so like they could open up a portal and say maybe some J rods from the year 50,000 AD could come through.
Something like that. Something like that.
Or
Yeah.
Looking Glass technology, Project Looking Glass.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Have you actually been in Area 51?
For many times. I was there. Oh, give me a sec. We've got what?
Wow.
Which day? Oh, 5 days ago. Last time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what, they like teleport you there?
No, I've got TR3 F. I've got no problem. It's few minutes from Australia to there to Nevada. No problem. Trust me.
What Mach speed does that go up to, you think? The TR3F?
I've got now it's 25, maybe 30 Mach. I don't know. Maybe even more. I don't know. It takes only few minutes to fly all around the Earth.
Now, do some of these crafts have the capability of quantum entanglement where they can instantly teleport?
That's the problem. Instant teleport is yes, you can do it, but it got downsides, especially on living organisms. you need to be like in special suit because you will be deatomized and your reatomization is not so easy.
Well, that's why they send people in avatar bodies and have them do this.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
You are right. You are right.
All right.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Because I was only few days ago back in 51. I can claim. I mean, I can ensure that they are rebuilding it. I mean, like modernizing it and enlarging it because I saw it for my own eyes. Yeah.
Okay. And are the people down there kept as like slaves and they have no
Oh
ability
no
to
no
come
no
to the
no no
circle?
no 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 definitely
like that.
no. They are doing it voluntarily. I mean, of course they are well paid, but they've got everything they want.
Yeah, so they may not necessarily be living in Las Vegas and flying out through Janet Airlines. They could be living all around the world and commuting there.
Of course, because they are flying by TR3Fs. Trust me.
So do they go to an airport or a military base?
No. They've got special runway built specially for. They've got runway built specially for TR3s because the most famous world famous is TR3B, and we've got it was version 2, and it is like C is version 3, so of course F is version 6, right? We are using it just right now, and situation is that there is special runway exactly just for TR3s, and these people are just landed on it, and they go directly into underground base.
And how big is the TR3F?
That's the question because it is not actually so big because I don't know,
Maybe like
100 feet. It is like like perfect triangle. Do you know what I mean? Equal edges.
Oh yeah, okay.
But the thing is that you can make relativize the space. So, for example, in this small triangle, and you can make, I don't know, like space for 20, 30, maybe 50 tanks, space for 500, 800, maybe 1,000 of people and everything, because because of this anti-gravitation reactor and some very good enhancements too. You can make a space which is outer space of the aircraft. It's like normal, but you can make it really huge inside it. Do you know what I mean?
So it's bigger on the inside than the outside?
Yeah, and much bigger. Trust me, much bigger.
Okay, it sounds like that's more advanced than even Star Trek was portraying.
Yes.
Okay. Well, do you think this technology is going to be released to the public anytime soon?
Oh, definitely, yes. In, I don't know, horizon of 10, maybe 15 years.
So that would certainly make a lot of our current modes of transportation obsolete. It would.
Yes.
It would change the culture all around the planet.
Yes.
Well, I welcome that. I think that's great. I do hope they can expedite that timeline, but 10, 15 years is better than nothing, I guess. Better than what it used to be, which is nothing. We're just waiting for disclosure, and it never happens because I guess the powers that be or were had too much vested interest to maintain the secrecy. But I'm assuming that's changed. Is that correct to assume?
Yep.
Okay. Well, why is it changed now? I guess it goes to those other timelines. They were worried about the Monarch Corporation taking over. And that
Yeah,
kind of
that's the
stuff.
problem. Monarch, they are really bad because Monarch is controlled. We called them by dark ones.
Okay, guys, he's going into something different now. I'm going to hang up, and tomorrow I'll do Redacted and Red Pill and Mike from Around the World. Good night, guys. God bless.